More impacts of tariffs to tell you about. Canada's central bank says a resilient economy against the backdrop of that trade uncertainty is why it's not adjusting its benchmark interest rate. Now, for the third consecutive time, the Bank of Canada announcing today it's holding the rate at 2.75%. And as Jason Gaidola tells us, the policy decision is being criticized by Premier Doug Ford.
Despite all the trade uncertainty with U.S. President Donald Trump, Canada's central bank says it's holding off from making any interest rate decisions.
While U.S. tariffs are disrupting trade, so far Canada's economy is showing some resilience. Inflation is close to our 2% target, but we see evidence of underlying inflation pressures.
In its latest monetary report today, the Bank of Canada says the benchmark rate will stay the same at 2.75%, its third consecutive policy hold. Governor Tiff Macklem says the decision came from, quote, a clear consensus from the governing council. But on the outside, Premier Doug Ford says he was shocked and showed his displeasure on X today, writing in part, rather than wait around and let President Trump's tariffs do even more damage to our economy, the Bank of Canada needs to cut interest rates now.
We've seen big declines in both auto manufacturing exports and steel exports. And so the Premier is worried about the economic health of Ontario. Lower interest rates would certainly help to give us a bit of a boost.
Premier Ford expressed concerns over the risk of job losses and believes lower borrowing costs will stimulate the economy, which could pave the way for potential growth in business investment and better mortgage rates.
The bank is forecasting that if trade relations stay the way they are today, that we'll be back to growth in the third quarter. However, if the trade situation worsens, if we see escalating tariffs from the United States as well as escalating reciprocal tariffs here in Canada, then we would be heading into a recession in the later part of this year.
The central bank did not issue an official economic forecast, but offered three scenarios, dependent on how the tariffs would play out, which did indicate a recession would be in play if there was more tariff pain. In the event of trade de-escalation, U.S. tariffs would be cut in half. In the status quo scenario, real GDP growth is predicted to be half a percentage point lower over the next 2 years. The Bank of Canada did hint that rate cuts could be on the table for September.